So 4.7 is the last section in chapter 4. So you can see we have a test coming up later this week. This section is all about triangle inequalities. We talked about triangle inequalities yesterday with the spaghetti. You basically discovered this on your own. But today we're going to put it in a little bit more formal terms and do some examples. So first, let's just cover some basics about triangles that have to do with the biggest angle and the longest side. So the largest angle, sort of like how the hypotenuse is always the longest when it's across from the right angle, that holds true in any triangle. The longest side is always across from the largest angle. The smallest side is across from the smallest angle. And then they work in reverse too. So the longest side is across from the largest angle, and so on. Okay? So if I give you all the angle measures, you could order the sides from smallest to biggest. If I give you all the sides, you could order the angles from smallest to biggest. So in this one, you are given the lengths of the sides. And now we're going to order the angles. So I want the angles from largest to smallest. So find the longest side. Which one is it? The 17. Across from the 17 would be the largest angle. So the largest angle would be angle A. Good. Then go to the next side. The next side would be the 14. So the next angle would be angle B. And then the smallest side is C, so that's the smallest angle. Same idea on number 2. We want the largest angle, then the next angle, then the smallest angle. So the largest angle would be what? E. It's across from the 21. Then across from the 20 would be F, and then across from the 19 would be the D. All right, same idea, but now in reverse. So you're looking at the angle measures, and we're going to put the sides from longest to shortest. The sides, I think, are a little trickier to name because you have to use 2 letters. So of those angles, we have a 35-degree angle, a 45-degree angle, and a 100-degree angle. Which one's the biggest? The 100-degree angle. So across from the 100-degree angle is which side? HJ. Good. You need both letters. Perfect. All right. Which one would be next? 45. And across from the 45 is HI. Good. And then the last one would be across from the 35, and it would be IJ. All right, number 4. The longest side is what? KL. Good. It's across from angle M. Then what? KM. And then LM. Do you think this stands for Katie Lynn Munden? No? Okay. I think it does. What a cool triangle. That's pretty odd. Yeah, thanks.
So your middle name is?
That's exactly right. All right, questions? Okay, next. Not every group of 3 segments can form a triangle. This is what we focused on yesterday, okay? The lengths of the side must have the following relationships. The sum of the length of any 2 sides must be greater than the length of the third side. So, for example, here, if we add those two lengths, that would have to, actually, we don't need that segment symbol if we're talking about the actual length. Let me get rid of that so you not use the segment symbol. So, the length of this side would be CB, the length of this side would be BA. That would have to be greater than the length of the third side. And all the other combinations have to work as well. So now we could add these two, CB plus CA, and that would also have to be greater than the length of the remaining side. And the third combination would have to work as well. So CA plus BA is also going to have to be greater than that third side. Now, I usually don't check all three combinations. You can tell which one's going to be the issue. It's always the longest one that you want to keep your eye on, okay? So I usually just go straight to the shorter two, add them together. If it's not longer than the third side, there's no way we can make a triangle. And that's exactly what we saw with the spaghetti yesterday. If they're not quite long enough, you just keep getting like narrower and narrower and narrower, and they never quite touch. So that's the combination you want to look for. Do the shorter two add to be longer than the third side. If they don't, it's impossible to make a triangle with those three segments. What are your questions? All right. Can these side lengths form a triangle? Explain. What is 3 plus 5? 8. Is 8 bigger than 9? No. So this would not be a triangle. And the explanation is just what it says there. The sum must be bigger than the other side. Questions? Here's the next one. Can these side lengths form a triangle?
Yes.
What did you do to decide yes? So 3 plus 5 equals 8. Is 8 bigger than 7?
Yes.
Yes. So the way I usually explain these, if it says explain, I just put like 3 plus 5 greater than 7. All right, 6, 9, and 12. All right. What does that give me? 15. Is 15 bigger than 12?
Yes.
And again, you could write your reasoning more in one line as an equality, like 6 plus 9 is greater than 12. Yes. Questions? Here's number 8. So, yes, when you add these, they're equal. So if you think of the spaghetti, you would have like a long piece of spaghetti and then a short piece of spaghetti and a short piece of spaghetti. And they just touch each other, but is that a triangle? No, it's still not. They would just like lay on top of the other side. So this is not going. This isn't going to work. It has to actually be bigger. Equal does not work. All right, number 9. This says determine if the following sides can form a triangle, then classify the triangle using its sides and angles. Okay, so what do I do first? 6 plus 9. That gives me 15. Is that bigger than 13?
Yes.
So it is going to be a triangle. Now, you can classify it by its sides right away. 6, 9, 13. By its sides. It's actually listed right over there. One of my other classes is. So the options would be scalene, isosceles, equilateral. It would be scalene. Okay, so you can do that one right away. By angles, we use this guy. This is what we did last week. I believe it was on Thursday of last week. So which one always has to be the C? The biggest one. So I'm going to do 13 squared. I'm going to have to decide what symbol goes here. And then the other two, 6 squared and 9 squared. So 13 squared is what? 169. 6 squared is what? 36. 9 squared is what? 81. When you add those, what do you get? 117, but close enough. Yep. So which side is the biggest? The C side or the other two? The C. Do you remember what that meant? Obtuse. So this is going to be a scalene. I don't know why it never said scalene on here. We'll add scalene. So yes, it's a triangle. It's a scalene triangle because none of the sides match. It's an obtuse triangle because when I do the converse of the Pythagorean theorem, the C squared side is larger than the other two. Okay? That is it for chapter 4. Who's excited? Woo! All right. Here comes your worksheet. We will review tomorrow, test the next day.